Hi, my name is NaaBia and you are welcome to the first video, and I'm so excited, first video of the Home with NBN podcast. Are you listening to the podcast? We have over 20 episodes which are dedicated to furnishing. And when I talk about furnishing, I'm talking about furnishing for your home, for your office, and for a commercial space. And you know what? For this particular episode, I'm so happy and so excited that all the things that I have been saying, I'm going to show you. Why? Reason why. I am shooting this episode from the beautiful, serene, lovely, plenty accolades, Pediase Valley Resort. Oh, say me jeje ho. Say me jeje ho. Share jai. Don't mind. I'll introduce him soon. Don't mind. Don't mind him. We're always fighting. Don't mind him. But beautiful, serene Pediase Valley Resort up in Ebui. And I know most of you have been here for weddings, conferences, workshops. I think my favorite thing is just lazing around and relaxing. So there are certain components in the hotel or certain sections in the hotel that I am going to, not in this episode, but going to show you all that I've been talking about. They've done a beautiful rendition. I have an amazing man here with me today as my first guest. I call him say we are my first guest.
I'm privileged.
Yeah, say it again.
I'm privileged.
Good. So as my first guest, and we're going to talk about public relations / branding and furnishing. Furnishing, I always say, has to keep you home, has to keep your clients in, and has to overall underlined, highlighted, make you comfortable. So if we have that setup, then you are good to go. But there's an element of that furnishing that has to tell a story. And that's why we have Mr. PR Guru.
Why always Ekow?
Oh.
Why always Ekow?
That is, why do you have that name? Why always Ekow?
Why can't you say I'm different? Like, everybody will be here, me, I'll be here. And I'll fight. I'll win.
I don't want to mention where we fight because they haven't paid us to mention their names, but it's a reason.
Oh, shout outs to her. Yeah, shout outs.
Hillary. Yes, Hillary.
Yeah.
So today, Ekow and I are going to talk about everything, or most things, or the pertinent things that have to do with furnishing and PR. I handle furnishing, you handle PR. And Ekow, I think the way we are like so intentional and global about branding, PR, and all of that, I think we should come back again and do a couple more episodes.
Okay.
I won't pay you, but yes.
Why you call? I should run.
Yes, please run. Okay, so I have, if I'm staring at my phone, forgive me. I have a couple of questions that I have Ekow, like he has to answer by force. But it is, as I said, it's related to what I do or what I've been talking about. So we would just delve right in, and I hope you enjoy this session because we're going to have more in video. Okay, so Ekow, please tell me about PR. What is it? Your cassette public relations branding. What is it? Chieyo, what is it? Tell me. Mini Sunny. Asa.
I'll try to make it a bit simple so people can visualize it.
Okay.
It's, in simple terms, it's basically making your organization or an individual looking good and has a very good reputation amongst the general public.
Okay.
Because as humans, as we are, we relate to a lot of people. And we have to build that good reputation. So basically, PR is more about that. But I know recent times, people have overused the word and you know, oh, me yeah PR, oh, yeah branding. It has to be. So it's basically, you need to do the PR in a way that it reflects you as a person. So when you are in front of people, the way you behave should be the same way you behave when nobody's looking at you.
Okay. That's a very good point.
Yes,
Oh, very good point.
that's how PR needs to be done. But there are some PR things you've seen that people would always try to look good. But you know, when you talk to individuals in that organization, they'll tell you that here is toxic.
Yeah.
But in the eyes of the people, it looks good.
Yeah.
So, and it, there's a reason we have internal PR and then we have external PR. So, internal more deals with your staff, your workers, your key stakeholders, even your board investors. If you don't treat them right, and externally you are treating people right, or the people see you as very good in their eyes, remember that when it blows in-house, it's very dangerous than blowing outside.
I think that's this point you're making. It just took me straight back to the Me Too movement. How like big companies, like big businesses were like, we had people coming and you're like, but this is like my dream company. This is where I would want to work. The word toxic. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we've seen a lot of, as you said, big companies. I mean, people who worked at Facebook and they had to leak certain behavior about how the organization is even being run. That even became a very huge issue in the US. So your internal people are just important as your external too as well.
Okay. So next question, I think it just flows right in. You are setting up a space. You're setting up an office. For normally big corporations, those who come to Ghana to set up like the banks, the big high-rise buildings and all of that, what you people don't know is they place a lot of premium on brands and PR people. Yeah, because red is never red, blue is never blue. There's always something that the PR person will say, this doesn't speak well to the brand. Yeah, I learned that from a project I went to bid on. I was like, oh, what are you people telling me? I don't know my colors. They're like, yeah, I don't know your colors. Oh, it was very embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, if a bank is purple, you don't go in to introduce red.
No. It doesn't work at all. So for like stepping on that topic still, like if you're a PR person or a brand person, what are the main things? What do people look out for when you are employing somebody like me? Apart from, oh, she has a good
repertoire of
yeah,
works done in the past.
Exactly.
And all those
What
things.
else do you people? What do people look for? So I have to furnish this office, this beautiful conference room at Peduase. What's PR person? You enter the space and there's nothing here. What are you looking for as a brand person?
So you have to look at their visual assets.
Okay.
What everybody was
Hey!
visual assets. So visual assets are like your logos, your colors, your even how you blend your what you guys call color palette or whatever.
Color palette, yes.
And
The
blending and all
tones and
those
all
things,
of
the
that.
tones. So even the tone, right? There are some companies, they will tell you that we don't want colors that shout. We want colors that are vibrant, but we don't want it to shout. Okay, so you can even look at colors like purple, which is vibrant, but it doesn't shout, right? So when you are coming in, you need to make all these research. Like for instance, even their logos, if you look at their logo, it will give you a clue about their colors.
Yes.
So
and it's always a story. We'll come to that, but there's always a story. That's one thing I've learned about PR and branding now. there's always a story.
Yes.
Apart from the founder's story, there's always a reason.
A reason. So you as interior people, you need to do the things that would depict that story. Okay, when we came to Pediase, I can tell, apart from the bricks and mortar, you see wood being the dominant maybe architecture, if I should put it that way. I'm sure they want to tell a story. If you look at the Pediase logo, you see there's a tree. It signifies things like sustainability and even making sure that you protect the environment. That's why when we came here, you see that the woods are very, very dominant here. So if you are an interior furnisher or designer, whatever you could call yourself, I don't even know.
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
You need to pick the inspiration from that, so that when you sleep over it, you begin to think about how do I make this big room empty become, the visual storytelling of the organization.
And at first I didn't think that way. Like, because maybe it's Pediase that has called you, you just immediately start looking for designs. And then it happens to me like till now that I know what I know my left from my right. A company calls you, and because you just focus on the company's name, you're like, hey. Then you go and design, they look at it like, what is, and that same thing applies to furnishing for homes, because we always tend to look at actually where the house is situated. Then we start to imagine, because maybe it's Airport Hills or maybe it's Cantonments or Jolly. Then we start.
So it has to be tiles, like shepherd.
And you present like the project or the design to the client, and the person looking at you like, NaaBia, what is this? This is horrible. You're like, hey, I've spent, it all tells that story. You have to listen to the client's pitch. And also what Ekow is saying, that you have to, apart from the colors, you have to find the reason why they are doing that, or that is why it's the dominant. I like your word, the dominant
architecture.
That's a good thing. But at first, and I know most of us do that. We look at the client says, okay, I have 100,000 budget. Then we start designing all sorts of things for the person. The kitchen has to have this gadget, it has to float. Then you go and the client is like, no. I might want 100,000 to be put into the project, but I'm more of sustainability. So the quality of wood, the gadgets. I want to be able to walk in and say, Siri, play music. I want to have hidden microphones.
I don't want to see wires.
Branding. Branding.
Because when you invite somebody into your space, you don't talk. When a person enters your room, that alone speaks for your. It does all the talking. It's just like, I'm sorry, but if you're a guy, you take a woman to your room, and then the moment she enters the room, she sees that your top is here, your knicker is here, your socks are scattered around. Unkasayo. But
opinions have been formed.
Yes.
The brand has already been established.
Yes.
You are dirty.
You are dirty. Whether you are not, that day,
you are dirty.
You are dirty.
And we call our friends and say, hey,
Charlie,
them don't work.
I hope it's me, but seeing those things. So it's that same kind of story is what organizational, you interior designers need to have at the back of your head or your minds, that whenever you get a job, you need to make sure that you deliver to that point where any third party walking into that room will see that, this is a well thought through place. There are places you go and it can tell you, you can easily tell who or which person did this?
Oh, that's a good point, Ekow. That is something that I have studied with when it comes to architecture, our architects in Ghana.
Yes.
Once you see a house, you see a building, you're like, this is one.
This one.
This is one.
Yes. Because behind it is the storytelling part. It's you don't say it. You don't the work tells everything.
Yeah.
You know, you enter a place, you say, this one is a German architecture.
Yes.
Because the Germans, they have a way of
Straight
doing
lines,
their
precision. You
precision.
just see the wall is straight.
It's straight. you understand?
Yeah.
The same way when you enter a room, you see this is an African setting. You understand? So those things, you don't really communicate them. And let me just also come in here. Communication is not just talking. We have the non-verbal one. So your body language and everything. I'm sure in interior design industry, your talking is more about how you've done the setup in the room. Yeah.
So it comes back to, I love the discussion we're having because it just fits perfectly into this question again. How do I craft a compelling brand story? Ekow, this is now me. How do I tell a story to fit my client, which is you? I know it's a play on words. I know, forgive me, but how do I tell the story? Okay, like just lay it down on me in simple terms so that we all don't get it wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So, one, I've mentioned your visual assets like your logo, your name, what you stand for, your key messages. So key messages here is, you see companies saying that we stand with you. Your story matters. So like those key messages as well. You also look at the history or the heritage of the organization. Maybe they are 100 years. And if you look through their history, there's a certain trend, right? You can also look at the people, their people culture also. So all these things, you pick inspirations from all these things so that when you are doing those internal or interior designs, there's pockets of those touch points, you know, your logo, your key messages and everything reflecting in that. Okay. And I mean, these are some of the things that you can actually look at. I'll come back to, I don't know, because we are in Peduase, but I really love the whole wood dominating architecture.
There's
here.
actually a room that I managed to sleep in. Oh, please, it was 100 years ago. It's not now, right? I can't afford it. Those times your dollar wasn't like this. It was okay. So we could sleep here.
I'm sure it's still affordable.
Oh, it's very, very affordable. Very you should be in that room. I have forgotten the name of the room, but it's actually, I think it's their honeymoon suite. Now look, the windows are, and one thing I love about Peduase also is they have big windows. Whereas
one can see around.
Yes.
And if you realize, you see more trees.
Yes.
So you see, it fits into the story we are talking about.
And that particular honeymoon suite, right, it overlooks the hill. And you can't see the hill, but it overlooks the hill. And that is so beautiful. And I think what you keep saying about the trees, we are in Ebri. We are part of, this is, I think, part of the Ekweapin range. So they don't want to come with all these tiles and all these fancy modern finishes. You know,
it shouldn't be opposite how the environment has been set up.
Exactly. So the layout, and I think they've worked into the layout, and they're actually expanding. Well, you can't see, but opposite the hotel, they're expanding, and it's the same thing. They have like beautiful. Now you have self-service apartments that are coming in. 2-bedroom and I think single bedroom. And what I actually love is they're going to have an infinity pool. Ekow. Infinity pool, oh, hey, please, Peduase. Ekow, we have to write our names on the please. We're here, stuff. Infinity pool, yeah. So I mean, and it's actually on the side of the hill. So those who are going to get to stay there when it is complete, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure they will create a beautiful story out of it.
Yes. Ah. Oh, Ekow, this discussion is good we have because
Yeah.
we take the PR thing and brand thing for granted, and now I'm learning to listen more to the clients because first it was just, okay, NaaBia, I have a 2-bedroom house. I want it, and I want brown, I want blue. Then I just
like that.
But I'm supposed to sit with them and understand why brown.
Yeah, why brown? There should be a reason. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. So that the if the person enters the room, like it is part of him or her in the room, so that he or she will feel comfortable in the room, and wherever he or she is, will love to come back to his or her room. So I mean, even now, fashion. If somebody wants to design some suits for you, they normally will come to you and why this color? How do you want to feel when you wear it? So that they incorporate all those things into how they put the final product together. And the same with
And even that, the ultimate thing is you have to wear clothes that tell your story, make you feel good.
good. Exactly.
As you see and like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They make you feel good. It's all part of this. That means that the entire PR thing is all storytelling.
Yes. Yes. What PR is, if you get your PR right, is because you had a good story.
Okay.
So things like just do it. Nike.
Yeah.
And you see the stories that they built around
that's
it.
That's the greatest three-worded campaign ever. Yeah.
And that just do it has been there for a lot of years.
Okay.
And athletes and celebrities take inspirations from that.
Okay.
The likes of the tennis sisters, Venus and Serena, and then Roger Federer, the NBA stars. They pick a lot of inspiration from that line. So if you're able to have a very good PR, it means that you had a good story to tell. And it has to make sense to the people you want to communicate to. If it doesn't make sense, then you've lost it. Because communication is 2 ways. When I talk, you understand, then you give me feedback. But if I talk, you don't talk, that means you don't understand.
Okay. So it ties down again into this question. Is there something like a branded crisis when it comes to furnishing? Yes, I know there is, because sometimes you're furnishing a space for a client's a commercial space, something, and you realize that how do you roll it back, especially if it has been launched, everybody has seen it? How do you, this is now coming to technicalities, how do you like dial it down, and what should we as a furnisher who has been employed to tackle that thing, how do we approach it? I don't know if my question makes sense.
I mean, basically doing something that client is not happy about, right? So the first thing is you have to apologize.
Hey, Ekow.
You have to apologize. You see, there's always an opportunity in every crisis.
Hey, Ekow, repeat that.
Yes,
Sometimes
there's always.
I panic. I panic.
Your true self is known when you are in crisis, and how you react to it. Imagine you are always seen as a good person every time. You don't have issues like Asembianto, right? People will see, oh, okay, oh, nice one, pal. Then somebody offends you. Your reaction, Jesus Christ.
She's a bushwoman.
You know, they're like,
social media.
and what will be people's reaction? Hey, my boy is not here anymore.
Yeah.
You understand? So That's why I'm saying that there's always an opportunity in crisis. When you go into crisis in such situation, your client wants you to know about it and wants to see your reaction to it.
Okay.
If you with like your client has paid you everything, you've done the job, you've actually spent more money on the job, and then the client is not happy, you need to find a way of saying, I'm sorry, how do we come in again to repair? But you just don't walk away and say that, oh, the money cry, we've exhausted the money, so you are bluffing off. No,
Yeah.
you need to apologize and
Okay.
then say that, oh, if you spend the money, is there a way you can also meet us halfway so that we'll be able to resolve and really fix this problem so that subsequently, when other jobs come in from the same clients, you know how to make sure that you recover well from.
But it's so difficult to
Yeah,
call.
but you should know
I
that.
have shrunk so many times when it comes to that bit. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've handled crisis well. Please, 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 no. No.
It's
I have
always good
shrunk
to keep
so
one
many times
client. You
because,
see.
and one thing I've also learned is it's always that one big repeat client who keeps
Yeah.
connecting you to the rest of
Exactly.
the money.
Exactly.
So it's not really about the numbers. It's always that one big repeat client who believes in you and believes in what you can help him or her to achieve either at home or in the office. Those are your people.
The interesting thing is, if you're able to resolve the issue, next time when he or she is giving you another job, what will money budget be now? As soon that I mean, he will still do it. He or she will still do it for you. You understand? So apology is really big. I know people who have egos, no, don't want to apologize. Even they want to do the attacking form, no, in PRC. If you yes you are right. You may be right, but that attacking form of approach,
It doesn't work.
it scares even potential customers away.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Okay. So are we done? Yes, we are done. And I hope you have enjoyed Ekow and I. As I said, I already, from the first sentence, I just knew that we have to do more of this because, look, Ekow and I have lots to tell you. And I think I have to ask the last question, the very last one. Do you think that Ghana, where we are right now, in our steady growth in trying to place ourselves globally as the place to be in December, the place to be during June, July, well, when is
December.
December? Apart from December, they come again when?
Easter.
Easter, good.
Yeah.
Do you think that we have sold our brand enough? Yes, we hear the numbers. They're coming 1 million. But do you think because let me tell you why I'm asking that. It got to a point where Airbnbs were the thing to have.
Yeah.
And furnishing it also was the thing.
Yeah, it was the thing.
The thing. Because everybody has a small, hey, please, I'm doing Airbnb. I'm charging X, Y, Z. Yeah. But do you think we've sold our story enough to have more people come in? And do you think we have? That's the question. I'll add more.
We activated it so well.
Okay.
And it's also because of storytelling.
Okay.
There was a connection between the country and whether it's the slavery years. I don't know whether it's 2,000 years or 200 years or of emancipation or something. So the country really had a very good fit in saying that if we are celebrating this milestone, Ghana is the home where most of the people in the diaspora, when they trace their roots, it comes to Ghana.
Okay.
So there was a story that was very emotional that was sold to the diaspora.
Okay.
And it has worked. And I'm not sure that they sold to the diaspora just because of commercial reasons. It's more of spiritual, so people can easily connect with the country. So that's why we've seen a lot of people, big international talents who have connected their roots to Ghana.
Okay.
The recent one being Steve Wonder.
You worked on that, right?
Oh, no
one. Steve Wonder.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't give me an...
Yeah, being the recent one, we've seen a couple more of those things.
Okay.
And if someone like Steve is connecting his roots to Ghana, you should know his influence on the global music scene.
Okay.
Okay, so on that scale, the activation was done right.
Okay.
To kickstart such, December in Ghana, year of return, beyond the return. Now we have to find a way of keeping them and sustaining.
Yeah.
Because sustaining a campaign is as important as starting it.
And that's even true in furnishing.
Yes.
Because if you don't furnish with the right and quality materials,
you can't sustain it.
You can't sustain them. Like within max 6 months, everything
will be falling.
The roofing will leak, the plumbing, the electric. It's true. You see, it's true.
So that's where our focus must be. And I know, and the good thing is, the private sector is also leveraging that to position themselves to have a bite of whatever is going on.
Okay.
And for me, I feel the private sector is the sector that would actually hold and sustain this whole year of return beyond the return campaign. It can't just be government.
Yeah.
The government will bring in the key things that are related to policy and all those things, which I know they've started, but they have to do more. You understand? So for me, they started well. The activation was on point, but there's also a history that it didn't start from the year of return. There's been build up from the past.
I think we had Pana
First. Even when in recent times where Hip Life, Hip Hop was big, we had Aquaba UK, where they were bringing a lot of people. It was just
things have happened.
A lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened. Even the last time Steve came to Ghana, the time he came some time back, where ex-president, the late President Rawlings flew him under the Adomi Bridge and all those things. These were things that were done in the past just to bring the diaspora people in. So when the year of return had a very good start, I was like, yes, we've strike. We got a good.
And what you're saying about the private sector being like a huge player in it, it still brings me back to where we are seated, this very hotel, private sector participation. So they make sure that the rooms are clean, beautiful, neat, tells the story.
And standard, because if you have someone coming from Las Vegas to Ghana, where Las Vegas is,
the hotels are like,
when that person comes here, you can't give him Las Vegas, but you can give him an African feel that looks so different.
That's why Pediasi is all booked during December. Pediasi, I beg you, December, don't even attempt. The place is like booked. I think people start booking all the way from, I think by October, they start booking. So you when you go online, they're telling you that the rooms are not available. It's true. Private sector.
So you have to do that, because the standards needs to be up there.
Yeah.
And now, if you are doing anything in Ghana, just keep it at the back of your head that Ghana is more like a global centerpiece now.
Yeah.
So anything you do, you'll be surprised you have a very small program. You see white people there.
Yeah.
They just want to have a feel of our culture, our people, and our heritage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, December in Ghana, it's a big deal.
The
numbers are very encouraging.
Very encouraging.
One point I also want to make is we have to make sure that there's full local participation in that, because we can't just leave it to when the diasporas come. They spend a lot of money and then they go, and then we as people are not enjoying some of these, you know. So that also means that the economy needs to be right. People have a very fair share of the economy and all those things. So yeah,
there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do because
there's a lot to do. Hey, Ekow.
Dubai is still advertising.
I like that.
Dubai, they are still advertising.
You see why I'm saying Ekow, and we need more content. Where did he even bring it? Such a good point.
Dubai is still advertising. Yeah.
I'll use that today. I tell you, I'll use that today. Anyway, thank you for listening to us. Thank you for watching us. Watching. Yeah. I'm so excited about the watching part. Thank you for watching us. And drum roll, we're going to do more of this because I think there's so much. Whatever it is, Ekow has clearly established that furnishing and PR/branding, there is that connection, and we cannot do without the other when it comes to compelling story building concerning brands. And you see, brands for me also, I keep repeating, it's not really about your office or your big space you are renting out to corporates or to small businesses. It's also about you, you know. So you sit down and you want to move into your like the home you've built for yourself or you built for your family. Each room must tell a story. Okay, it doesn't matter if the kids are young or the kids are grown or you are old, whatever. Each room must tell something nostalgic. It must give you that that okay, I've closed from work, I'm home, I'm retired, I can go and sit down and enjoy the ambience of the space. It all comes down to branding and PR. Okay, so thank you. First episode done, 100,000 more to go. If I can convince Ekow. Thank you.
I'm always available.
All right, thank you. Bye.